That's not what a cat penis looks like. When I vomited in the bed, I just laid in it. I'm not even fucking with you.
Bill Spencer! Bill Spencer! Bill Spencer, baby, let's go! Yeah!
I wish my fucking foot would go right through your skull.
God damn it, Maverick!
No offense, David Jaffe, but that's bullshit.
That's a huge bitch!
Be turtle, baby. Be turtle, baby.
Okay. Well. Welcome, my delightful dairy farmers, to Gavin and Games for the first Monday of the November of whatever. It's good to see you. Hang on, let me get my face back up here. There we go, y'all. Son of a bitch. Hang on. God damn, this Windows bullshit. All right, here we go. Welcome, my delightful friends, to Gavin and Games for November 4th, 2024. Good Lord, time goes fast. It's good to see you. Hope you had a great Halloween. Hope you had a great weekend. Man, I smoked a lot of weed on the last Gavin and Games. No, it wasn't even Gavin and Games. It was the Halloween special. We went for like 3.5 hours, and it was fun. Played some Call of Duty, talked about scary things, and took a bunch of phone calls. I had a good time, but I'm glad to be back talking about the video games. I'll tell you something. We're definitely going to be talking today about some Dragon Age. Obviously, that's kind of what a lot of people are talking about. That's what your old Papa Jaffe's playing. In fact, before we get... Well, fuck it. We'll talk to the chat a little bit, and then we'll get to some Dragon... Now, fuck. Here's the deal. I want to introduce to my friend. This is my friend, Sydney. Sydney, say hello to the chat.
Hey everyone, nice to meet you all in the chat. What's up?
Yeah, so she's going to be on the show from time to time whenever we need like a judges.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun joining in on the show and chatting with you all.
Yeah, she's going to be chiming in from time to time when we need like a judge's ruling. But that's Sydney. Yeah, tomorrow is the big election day. You goddamn right I voted. Of course I voted for Kamala. Of course I voted for Timmy Walz. I went Democrat and liberal progressive down the ticket, down the ballot, my friends. But you vote the way you want to vote. I am curious, and I'm both excited and nervous because I think the day after the election or the day after the election, I'll be going on Colin's Constellation. It's a pure, full political conversation with me and Colin and a few other people after the elections have happened. Although who knows, we may not even know who the winner is at that point. So that's going to be, that's going to be fun or depressing, or you'll know. Tomorrow I'm making baked ziti. We're all sitting around the TV together, and we're going to watch, Kornacki at the big board as the election results roll in. But it's look, here's what I'll tell you: whoever wins. I hope the winners are gracious. I hope the winners, because it sucks to be on the side of an election that you lose, that you really feel passionate about. It's the worst, man. And it's almost worse when people are gloating about it. It's like, you know what, man? It's, so I hope it's going to be, people are going to be gracious and kind to others. But what am I saying? What am I fucking saying? We'll see what happens. Be the way you want, but vote for Kamala, says a cab. Vote for who you want to vote for. I don't give a fuck, but I can tell you she's the one I voted for. You goddamn right. So I've been playing the Dragon Age. Let me just start with this. I'm about 11 hours into the game. I streamed a little bit on the Discord last night with some of the members, And here's the deal. I really like it. And it's got a bit of an identity problem that I think stems from, not just the fact that like something like Dragon Age Inquisition, which I also really liked, is nothing like this game at all. It's bizarre. I mean, I understand why in terms of the production. It started as an online game and multiplayer game. But it is weird to call it Dragon Age. And I'm not even a hardcore fan, and I don't really know Dragon Age canon or anything, but it definitely kind of, I thought it was going to be like this big, I thought it was going to be this big, meaty, kind of adult, serious RPG kind of weighty thing, like a Lord of the Rings or an Elden Ring. And it really feels like a CW show. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just that it's really bizarre at first. Like it's a real whiplash conceptually, thematically, from what I think a lot of us were expecting. Like my first experience with it was one of Keeley's shows, and they had a whole behind the scenes of the team in Canada. I think they're in Canada, and they were talking about the lore and all this. And I was just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess we're in for, another, deep kind of thing. And it's good. It's really good, actually. The combat's fantastic. It feels like a great romp. It's a really fun adventure. But it does feel like a young adult novel. I don't get the woke stuff. I mean, in the sense that, I guess there's one scene coming up that we've all seen that I saw on the stream that I would agree is stupidly written, where the girl does the push-ups because she misgenders someone. It's a little ham-fisted, but short of that scene, which I assume everybody who plays the game is going to see, maybe, you have to go out of your way, not like in a bad way, but you have to be like, oh, I would like to make a non-binary character. I would like to make a trans character. If not, for all it's God of War had the same thing in it. You just didn't know about it, right? It's not out there. And, all these people are always talking about, oh, it's stuff shoving it down my throat. It's like, they're not. It's not. The writing isn't great. The writing is a little, it's not bad. Here's what I think you have to do with Dragon Age. You have to go, what part of this is just, it's bad because it's so conceptually, thematically different than what I was expecting. And what part of it is actually just poorly written, right? Everybody's so happy. It reminds me of like the movie Willow or something, in the sense that, yes, there's a big bad guy and it's dark and things could go really bad, but at least 11 hours in, it still seems like it's like an Errol Flynn Robin Hood kind of adventure, which I absolutely don't mind. It's just that that's not what I was expecting. Brad in the chat says, I've played 10 hours just like me, and it is not good. I don't agree. There is no reason for rogue, mage, or warrior. It's just different fighting styles. Well, isn't that the whole point? There is no RP in this G. Well, again, if you are saying that what you wanted was a traditional RPG or a next gen RPG, then I would agree with you. And that is disappointing, given sort of, they call it Dragon Age. But if you can get past that, and I can, I think it's a better God of War Ragnarok than God of War Ragnarok. It plays like God of War Ragnarok. I think it's easier. I think it's friendlier. It's not as, the combat isn't as deep or anything, but it by a long shot, but it is that kind of, it's that kind of genre of a game, right? And it has the kind of spring in its step, and it's just fun, that I don't think God of War has felt, for a while now. And so I'm really digging it. The subgrade writing is like text messages between teens, says Cosmic. A little bit. It's like I said, sure. It's absolutely not the so I don't think the writing is that bad. I just think there are some scenes that are terribly written, like the one everyone cites, but it's also kind of like a shock to the system a little bit when you're expecting one thing and everyone's all happy and shit. What I will tell you though, like in the chat, Uncensored Maverick is saying, I mean, everyone says it's bad, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's actually not the case though. I don't, so right now if you go, I just want to show you where it sits, because there is that narrative that Maverick is sort of sharing, but it doesn't hold water. So the critics give it an 84. If you look at the user score, it's 3.8, but this is Metacritic, where you don't have to own the game or have played the game. But if you go over to PlayStation, where you have to have purchased the game to rate it, it's sitting at 4.5 stars. And then if you go over to Steam, the only time you see it where it's mostly negative is if you put playtime 0 to 1 hour. So these are people who haven't actually played it, right? But if you filter that and you say you want it to be people who have played it, let's just say over 1 hour, it suddenly jumps to mostly positive. And if you filter that to people who've played it over 10 hours, it jumps to very positive, which I guess is if you're playing it 10 hours, you must really like it for most part. But so I don't know, though, if I would agree with you that this is a game that everybody plays it and hates. That's just not the case. It's just not the case. But I do agree with Yeti Money where he says it's the fact they called it Dragon Age. Have you played Dragon Age? Well, I did not play Dragon Age Origins or 2, but I did play Inquisition. And yes, it's a very different thing. And that is a very valid criticism of this game, in that you're calling it something, and I know Dragon Age Origins is different from Dragon Age Inquisition, but it's still an RPG. So I do think that's kind of a real weird thing they did. And I can understand somebody being disappointed and negative about that. But, I don't think that is, if you can get past that, I don't think it's, I don't have a problem. I think it's great. I think it's really, really great. Richard Joseph says, is Jaffe in Twisted Metal Season 2? No, they never called me this season. Glasgow says the BioWare devs believe their players are idiots. Well, a lot of them are. You walk up on a ballista and the companion says, there's a ballista. I wonder if we can use it to break down the wall. Yeah. I mean, I would caution Brad against planting a flag assuming you know where that note came from for the development team. Most developers don't want to make things like that so bone dead stupid and obvious. But what ends up happening is you end up going into a focus test and somebody ends up being confused and going, oh, I would quit this game if I was stuck there. And so marketing or executives are like, okay, give them a little hint or whatever, right? But it's not like Silent Hill 2, which I love, which has proper puzzles and they don't spoil them for you unless you change the slider. Are you really playing Dragon Age, at least once you know what this version of Dragon Age Veilguard is, going, don't spoil my brilliant puzzle of aim the light beam at a mirrored surface? It's like, yeah, no shit. But anyway, look, like it, don't like it. I don't give a fuck if you, I'm tired of trying, don't play it. What I'm telling you is, it is for me, a great deal of fun. It does not feel like even though there's some beautiful production in the game, and the combat is excitingly excellent. There doesn't seem to be the same level of kind of AAA bombacity that we usually see. To me, this feels like a really fun matinee movie of a game. And if you've actually played it and you've formed an opinion, great. But if you're one of these people that are out there just kind of shitting on it to shit on it, you're part of the problem. You're part of my problem anyway. Take that for what you want. Hidalgo says, when Inquisition came out, it was the height of the Game of Thrones TV hype. If not for that, I'd be surprised if EA didn't turn the series into a watered-down hero shooter sooner. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I can tell you I did enjoy Inquisition very, very much. I am enjoying this very, very much, but they play like totally different games. And I had a bunch of people on the stream last night who are very familiar with the lore of Dragon Age, and apparently the lore is taken care of in the sense that all the characters are the same and they have the same histories that they ended with Inquisition. But, you know, it definitely doesn't feel like a proper sequel to Inquisition, but it's good. It's really, really good, actually. BioWare writing may be campy and uneven before in the previous games, though after games the quality writing like The Witcher, the low standard's not going to fly. Again, it flies fine. I mean, again, it's fun. It's fun and it's joyous. It's got a good heart. No, it is not The Lord of the Rings. No, it is not Game of Thrones. It's not dark. It's not that serious. It's not goofy. It's not like, what is that game that they made that was kind of the Bard's Tale? It's not that, but it's you know, it's like Errol Flynn is the best I can say. It's like a fun romp. I'm digging it. But I do want to talk a couple of things specifically about it real quickly. So here it is. You can see it on your screen there. I've been playing that. I'm playing it. Well, Addy Pie says, why should you settle for mediocrity when it costs $70? That's not mediocrity. If you think something has to be dark and sinister and serious and heavy in order to be good, okay, fine. But that's not an issue of mediocrity. That's an issue of taste or specific things you like. But for me, I'm quite happy with a game that feels more like it's fun. It's it's a serious story for the characters that are living it, but it's not, it doesn't leave you feeling like the world is a disaster and everything's so dark. I mean, we got Stalker coming out in a couple weeks for that. You can get that anywhere in games. But no, I like the lightness of this. I like the adventure-y aspect of this. Also, it probably doesn't hurt that I didn't pay $70. I got it for EA Plus Pro. It cost me the cost of a movie ticket. I get to rent it for a month for $18 or whatever. And I'm good. I might actually buy it though, although I don't think there's going to be any seasonal content. So I think there's no reason to buy it when I finish it. So I don't know, but we'll see. But anyway, I'm loving it. I think it's great. I did want to point this out. I made a video the other day. This is footage up on the screen right now of the beta, which I played that I did enjoy, of Monster Hunter, Open Worlds, Wilds, whatever the fuck it's called. And I got a lot of annoying comments like, Jaffe, what are you, an idiot? Have you ever played a video game? They've been putting custom characters in cutscenes forever. And I'm like, yeah, that wasn't the point of my video. The point of the video was I've never seen custom characters in cutscenes look as good as this, right? And people are like, and then I'm like, here's Dragon Age. Now, Dragon Age is a good-looking game. Here is the scene that everybody's losing their shit about, the trans apology scene about the misgendering. This is what I'm used to, even on 2024, right? Hang on, I gotta sneeze. In 2024, I'm used to, this is what happens when you take real-time custom characters and it's not pre-rendered, because, that's what you get. And so forgive me if I looked at this and I said, holy cow, this is excellent. This looks like it's fucking pre-rendered, man. But anyway, I did want to point that out because I'm stunned when people are hitting me up going, Jaffe, they've been doing that forever. I'm like, no, not at the level that Capcom's doing it. But anyway, yeah, it's reviewing really well for people who have actually played it. But if you just want to be a contrarian asshole, go ahead. Again, as to the woke stuff, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Some of you guys are just weird. Some of you guys are weird. It's like, shut up. I'm tired of putting up with it. It's like the game. First off, even if the game was the gayest fucking game on the fucking planet. So what? So what? Let somebody make a fucking gay as fuck mainstream game. That's A. Are you that insecure in your sexuality that what, you're worried you're going to turn into a gay person or a trans person or a non-binary person just because somebody fucking makes a game about the gay folks? Right? That's number one. Oh, I agree, Da Vinci. Da Vinci says, I don't mind it exists. The scene is just dumb. Yeah, it's the idea of the scene has its heart in the right place, but it's dumb. It's a stupid fucking scene. It's a bad scene in terms of writing. But so what? You think I can't point to 1,000 fucking games that have a couple of scenes that are bad with writing? I don't tell you. Eddie T says, I had to mute Grums over Dragon Age. He got unbearably annoying. He spent all Halloween constantly monitoring the player count. It's like, yeah, leave people alone. Shut up. Toby Moss says, I'd rather escape in a game that doesn't remind me of current day BS. Unless you are, considering becoming non-binary or trans, it's not in the game. It's literally not in the game unless you go looking for it. Right? This scene might be, but so what? There's also a scene about devil worship in the game, but I don't want to be a devil worshiper any more than I want to, be a trans person or a non-binary person or a gay person, because I'm not. Just shut up. You guys are terrible. Not all of you. A lot of you guys are great, but I'm saying on the whole, just fucking shut up about it. And I'll tell you something else. I'm starting to, I don't know what, I'm going to talk to my friend. I'll talk to the chat in a minute. You're my friends too in the chat, but I'm going to talk to this, Sydney, I have a question for you. I need some help. Are you there?
Hey, yep, I'm here.
All
What
right.
do you need help with?
Listen, here's the deal. I am struggling with this because I do this stream and I love games and I love gamers and all this stuff. But lately I am getting so frustrated. Like I have to be on social media. I like being on social media. I like talking about games, but my brain just cannot deal with a lot of these people that get so upset when anybody has a game with something that they consider woke. It's like, why does it bother these people so much? Why don't they just go, it's a great game. There's some stuff I don't necessarily agree with, but they move on with their fucking lives. Like, what are your thoughts on this? It's driving me batshit dealing with these people.
I hear you. It can be really frustrating. This reaction often comes from a place of discomfort with change, or feeling that something they enjoy is being altered in a way that challenges their views. For some, games are seen as an escape, and when topics like diversity or social issues are included, it can feel to them like their safe space is being invaded by real-world issues they'd rather avoid. It's a complex mix of resistance to change, feeling threatened, and not wanting their leisure activities to include what they see as political. Unfortunately, social media amplifies these voices, making it seem like a bigger issue than it might be. Keep doing what you love, and remember, there are plenty of gamers out there who appreciate diverse perspectives.
There are, and I do appreciate them, and I appreciate you saying that, because sometimes it drives me up the fucking wall. All right, Sydney, I'm going to go back to the chat. Thanks, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
No problem. Happy to chat anytime.
Okay.
Take care, and I'll be here when you're ready to talk again.
So listen to this. You know what? I'm sorry. Here's what you guys are going to have to either deal with or stop listening to my show as often or at all, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that I may push people away with me being so cranky lately, but I'm telling you guys, I'm struggling with this. I don't know how to deal with the negativity that is consistently the gaming space. And I don't want to leave Twitter. I don't want to leave social media because I like when it works, and it does work sometimes, right? But listen to this. Listen to this, though. So I tweet this out about Dragon Age. Whatever you think about Dragon Age, this is not a political tweet, okay? I said, shout out to the dev who places all the chests and gold and wood in Dragon Age Veilguard. It's a thankless job, but it's really done well here. Even if it's nothing mega, there's always a payoff for exploring, even a touch off the beaten path. Thanks, right? And again, I'm a guy who has done this work on God of War 1 and all the Twisted Metal games. I was one of the people that placed pickups and power-ups and chests and oracle eyes and all this shit, right? So I tweet this, and most people took it. 400 people liked it. Almost 392. So it's like, you'd think, well, Jaffe, why are you focused on the couple of bad comments? You're right. I don't know why. I just kind of find it annoying. Maybe that's why. This guy says, weird shout out considering it's done about as well as other games. Nothing to write home about, like clever placement. First off, bitch, I would say to you, I've made games. Don't fucking tell me what's nothing to write home about. Shut the fuck up. You ain't done shit. You ain't done shit. Don't come in and regardless though, you don't even have to agree with me, but I don't follow you. You follow me. You're coming into my fucking tweet. I'm saying something positive, something that I like. And I'm saying, hey, thanks, developer, who probably is rarely called out about this. Why would you come into my fucking house and post what? No, you're wrong to think that. Really? Really? Fuck you. No, we didn't have AI to put the chest in. I'd probably try it now. Okay, but Stoner Joe, it doesn't matter. It's not up for debate. I didn't put out, Stoner Joe says, to be fair, it was pretty routine placement. I didn't put a tweet out that said, hey guys, I'm curious, what did you think about the placement of chests and gold and pickups in Dragon Age, if you even played it? Oh, Stoner Joe, good point. It was pretty routine. Fair. Understood. I literally put a tweet that said, hey, I'm enjoying this. I want to say thanks to the people who did it. I think this is cool. I didn't shove it in your fucking face, which is what a lot of you guys always complain about. It was on my fucking page. You don't have to follow me. Why would you come here and tell me I'm just wrong? I don't understand it. Listen to this. I'm not going to be negative all the show. Like I said, I'm fucking loving the goddamn Dragon Age. I'm loving playing that. I'm loving playing Call of Duty. I'm loving Zelda. I am having so much fun right now. Gaming right now is excellent. Whether you're talking the indie space, seriously, fellas, it is so good right now. There is so much good stuff to play. If you guys would stop, again, I don't mean to say you guys, because I know it's not most of you. It's just the vocal minority. But if these people would just stop being so negative about every fucking thing, you go shit. There's so many good games out right now. Listen to this. I started blocking people last night because I can't handle it. I tweeted about, imagine basically, whatever you think of politics, refusing to even consider Dragon Age Veilguard. Because of some very minor woke stuff. I don't mean you can hate the writing, sure, whatever. But it's a genuinely good, fun game. And this is what I tweeted that. Forget the wokeness. And what I said is they're missing out on one of the best action-adventure games this year. But calling this, says Trico Cat, one of the best action-adventure games this year is so stupid, it's laughable. What? I'm not allowed to think that? Why? Who responds to people that way? Listen to this guy. I mean, Jaffe, I get it. You were part of some of the greatest hits, but I'm sorry, you were out of touch as a gamer. You have no idea what people love about video games. This game is pure dog shit. I have to refund it after 2 hours. Then again, you enjoyed Star Wars Outlaws too, so... So here's my question, fellas and Filettis watching the show. I'm not leaving Twitter because I have like 80,000 people following me. It helps promote the show. I am over on Blue Sky. It's not that they have a point, nah dog. You fucking troll with a fucking guitar and your stupid fucking avatar. It's not that they have a point or don't have a point. There's a way in a fucking civilized society you address it. Right? So if let me give you a lesson, nah dog. Here's how you address it. If I said, I think you're missing out because this is one of the most fun action adventure games of the year, and you don't agree with me, you could say, oh, that is weird, man. I so didn't feel that way. I thought this game was better and this game was better. And you know what? It wasn't the woke stuff that bothered me. It was just the generic combat. I would go, oh, now we're having a conversation. Now we're having a conversation. I don't understand these people. Now, again, there are people out in the world, a lot of them, and I don't shame them. I don't have a problem with them. I think they're just as valid as I am and anybody else that lack the ability to read social cues. And in those people, I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. I didn't realize that, that was your neurodivergency. It's not a problem. No, dog, I'm not too soft-skinned. I think there's a lot of assholes, and I'm tired of dealing with them. That doesn't make me soft-skinned. That just makes me tired of having to wake up and deal with fucking assholes. Slitterhead. Slitterhead. Yeah, you know what? I don't even want to do the show right now. I just want to talk about this. What I'll tell you about Slitterhead is I'm actually kind of excited for Slitterhead. Slitterhead is at a terrible review. It's sitting at a 60 from critics, came out today. 70% say it's mixed. But all of them say it's interesting. Even the ones that give it like 3 out of 10 and say this is a disaster, but it's an interesting disaster. I like that. So I'm still going to be playing this. Slitterhead 65 for multiplayer is a big waste. Many of the concepts behind the game are brilliant and demonstrative of how Toyoma is still a creative capable of experimenting and creating extraordinary titles. But it's clear that deprived of the resources of the past, he was not able to adequately give shape, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. That's fine. Worth Playing says if you can get past the jankiness, Slitterhead has a certain quality that makes it oddly compelling. I don't care about the jankiness. I don't care about the... I just can't anymore. I just can't. I'm over it. I like interesting things. I like smart things. I like things that take chances and swing for the fences. I'm much more interested in that versus Digital Foundry guy said it's the best looking game with the best pixels. Look how many pixels! I counted an extra pixel. I'm tired of idiots. How can I weed idiots out of my life and out of my show? Let me ask my friend Sydney. Sydney, I'm in a cranky mood. I'm crank pot O'Malley today. How do I get idiots out of my show audience? I'm tired of people who, I don't care if they disagree with me, Sydney. People have been watching my show for years. They know I like discourse. They know I debate. I like people who have different ideas that I can grow from and learn from and make my ideas better. But I'm just tired of mean-spirited fucking assholes, Sydney. What do I do?
I hear you. And it's tough when negativity disrupts a space meant for open dialogue. Here are a few strategies you might consider.
Nah, I don't want strategies. I don't want
set clear guidelines.
I don't want strategies. I just want to bitch. I want to complain. Can I do that with you, or do you got to give me all these answers? Let me just complain, Sydney. Is that cool with you?
Absolutely. Go ahead and vent.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
totally
Fuck them, right, Sydney? Fuck them.
whatever you
Fuck them up the
Hey,
asshole.
Sometimes you just gotta let it out.
Can you say fuck them for me,
There you
Sydney?
go.
Yeah, fuck them up the butthole, Sydney. Is that not nice?
I can't use that kind of language.
Why not?
It's a bit on the strong side.
Yeah.
But I get the sentiment.
Yeah, me too. I'm tired of these people. Do you think we made a mistake? Like, what do you think about a country that just said you have to have a certain IQ to get in? Wouldn't that be terrible, though? That's not nice. Anyway, all right, Sydney, I'm going to go back and talk to the chat. Good talking to you, champ. I like Sydney. She's always there for me.
Yeah, that would be a tricky and controversial approach for sure.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, you
and I'll
too.
be here if you need to chat again.
You got it, baby.
Enjoy the stream.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just so fucking bored of it, man. I just, I want to talk about, seriously. I mean, the fact that right now, let's take Slitterhead for a moment. The fact that right now, and now I get it. There's a lot of, money's tight for a lot of people. Shit's expensive. I'm not saying just go waste your fucking money on a 60 review game. But if you say, God, where do I find people that love the art form, that love the medium, that care about more than what the fucking PR agencies have told them to care about? I'm so cranky. Yeah, $60 is a lot for a $60 game. I get it. And I get that it's not going to sell a lot, at least, and you're going to get it, you probably should get it on sale. But the idea that people aren't even going to give it, when you read reviews that are saying it's shit, but you're also a lot of the people that complain all the time about everything's the same, everything's the fucking same, nobody takes chances. Well, these guys took a chance. Did they fail? Probably. But aren't you at least curious about something? Slitterhead has a narrative we can consider okay. It brings a generic and crazy mix of parasite anime with the flavor of Beyond Two Souls. It's not worth your time. So some people around now don't buy it, but this guy Screen Rant gave it a 6 out of 10. When it's good, it's really good. But it's hard to recommend wholeheartedly with all the confusion and tedium, right? I want to see that. I want to experience something different. Aren't you guys tired of the same fucking shit all the time? I am. Aegon, thank you. I love doing the show. And Aegon says, I want to say thank you to Jaffe for giving us a show, even though people annoy you. Most people are delightful that come to this show. I'm not really, even Addy Pie in the chat. The funny thing is Addy Pie was literally on the stream last night when I was playing Dragon Age. And he was like, oh, it looks pretty good. Right? He's trolling in the chat because he's bored. But when he's actually calls in and he's on the fucking Discord, he's like, no, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll play it, I would just say that it's not so much the chat really, although some of the trolls are annoying. It's just more, I wish I could find a way to just surround myself and people, maybe it's because I do a live stream, right? So I've been doing this thing for members and it goes free called Brain on Games and it's not live. Maybe Moriarty's got the absolute right idea. Moriarty's idea is he's like, look, I don't do live shows. And I'll just put my shows out, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but I don't have to deal with it. And so the people that like his shit kind of vibe with his shit. Slitterhead unlocks at 11 tonight, Adam? I thought Slitterhead's coming out on the 8th. Are you sure? Hey, Trey Trimble, my buddy. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, man. Thank you for that. It's very kind. Wait, when does Slitterhead come out? Release. Hang on. November 8th. So what do you mean? Today's the 4th. What do you mean it comes out tonight? I'm not sure what that means. No, I'll be picking it up day one because it looks neat. It looks interesting. Make a game for everyone, not just modern audience. No. There's plenty of games made for the modern audience. Would you like to see them? Let's go to the PlayStation Store. Would you like to see games that don't have any, quote, agenda? Oh, 3-day advance for deluxe. Okay, fuck it. How much is the advanced? Yeah, I want to play it. I'm excited for it. Okay, Astrobot is out there for you guys. Okay, let's do the top 10. Call of Duty isn't bothering anybody. Fortnite's not bothering anybody. 2K's not bothering anybody. Dragon Age, I get it. You don't like it. Fine. No problem with the soccer. No problem with the football. No problem with the Dragon Ball. Phasmophobia. There's plenty of games that you can play. What's the problem? Why do you think everything has to be for you? It's so gross, man. It's so non-American. It's so non-fair. It's so non-pro-artistic. What do you think of the new Indiana Jones gameplay and impressions, says Kevin? I'm excited for it, but I'm ride or fucking die for Indy, regardless, even though I think the last two movies were shit. So I know there was some new gameplay that just came out regarding Indy, an Egyptian-themed demo, and I'm staying away from it just because I don't want any spoilers. Again, so here's the thing, right? Yeah, Kevin is saying they're saying it's an immersive sim. It's not really a shoot, bang, bang, blah, blah, blah. I'm all for it, man. I like the idea of somebody making a game where you get to actually experience what it might be like to be Indiana Jones. I've played enough third-person action-adventure games, right? And so I'm excited for it. I think it sounds cool. I don't like stealth all that much, but, hopefully, there are ways you can fight your way out of it if you want to. But I don't really care. I don't really care anymore. People are just going to shit all over it. I'm just, God, do you like anything? Tell me that, chat. What's good in your life? I get Persona's good. I'll be playing Persona over Thanksgiving. But what do you like about games? Why are you even here? Hell, I'm excited for Horizon Adventures Lego. I can't stand that IP, but this looks pretty good. This looks fucking pretty good. Yeah, you love Black Myth. That's great. I really liked Black Myth as well. Metaphor, I played the demo, Eddie. I like that a lot. I'm going to be getting the game. Like I said, that's my Thanksgiving game. Joseph just finished up the new Life is Strange. I'll be playing that hopefully with my kid over the holidays. She loved it. 1 minute says these people are tied to AAA gaming only, Jaffe. Well, I think you're dumb. Here's what it's like. Here's what I'm like and what you're like. If what 1 minute is saying is true. If you're only tied to AAA gaming, you don't get a seat at the table when we're discussing the medium. You get a seat at the table when we're discussing what are the big games coming out. Okay, but you don't get to sit at our cool kids table when it comes to let's discuss the art form. Let's discuss where it's going. Let's discuss what's good and what's bad and what's innovative and what we thought would be innovative, but it's not. You don't get to sit here because you're too fucking stupid. It would be like somebody thinking they get to sit at the table with Martin Scorsese and Brian De Palma and Christopher Nolan, but the only thing they watch are Marvel movies. And nothing's wrong with Marvel movies. I love the Marvel movies. But if you can only watch the Marvel movies, but you can't also turn around and watch something like Nyad from last year with Jodie Foster and Annette Bening, or you can only watch the DC movies and you want to actually act like there's something to mock in a movie that's like a small indie film or a medium-sized film about something more than bang, bang, pow, pow, you don't get to sit here. You have to go sit with the idiots. I'm sorry. I did not name AAA directors. Brian De Palma. Again, Scorsese's last 3 movies have bombed, okay? But, it's not like, how many of you actually watch Killers of a Flower Moon or whatever? I did. That was great, by the way. I didn't say they are indie directors. I'm saying they make cinema. They make film. They don't make commercial popcorn. And I love commercial popcorn. But I can also name, even though I don't like Wes Anderson fits in there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know the people's names because they're kind of brand new that have been coming up directing things like, well, in fact, Robin Williams' daughter, I think was the director of, was it Jill Frankenstein? That was awesome. I'm just saying, you don't get to sit here regardless. And I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you thinking you do. I'm pissed, man. You can't have a real conversation with you guys. It's literally like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to rant, but allow this. I will delete this stream when I'm done. You got to let me every now and then have a rant stream. I don't like Wes Anderson. I'm not a fan, but a lot of people love him. I get it. At least Frankenstein is a great movie. I love Dave the Diver. Great fucking motion picture. Great fucking game. But you got to let me rant sometimes because sometimes I wake up and I'm like, what am I doing? What am I fucking doing talking to these people who don't even love this shit? Veilguard is good. I love Veilguard. I think Veilguard is great. Is it the best game of the year? No, but it's a lot of fucking fun. It's a lot of fucking fun. My top 5 best game directors? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Okay, I would say I'm gonna forget his name, but the director of Silent Hill 2 remake, who's also the director of Layers of Fear, is one of my favorites. Mikami is one of my favorites. Miyazaki is one of my favorites. I don't know. I have to think. Ken Levine, not yet. Miyamoto was, but he hasn't worked in a long time. Kojima I really like, but I wouldn't say he's one of my favorites. Jaffe, people don't believe in gaming anymore because the damage the modern audience bullshit has done. I mean, it's not like it's gone away. Games are still games. There's still great games out there. I put up a video the other day I played a game called Sorry We're Closed. It's just a demo. But boy, it's really interesting. It's a really fucking weird third-person / first-person horror game. It's good stuff. But anyway, the point is, though, back to this, you got lots of things you can play. Why don't you leave people alone? Seriously, nobody's. Who's in the fucking chat? Who is this? This has got to be Ravnos, correct? I mean, is that who this is?
Yeah, but I just
You're
meant
obsessed.
to be waiting. I didn't mean
You're
to bombard
obsessed. What do you want, Ravnos? What's going on, buddy?
I'm sick of the modern audience talk, but not from you.
I can't help it. No. I'm going to kill this stream when I'm done. I'm going to delete it because I hate being this guy. I'm in a tear today because I can't take. It's probably because of Dragon Age because I'm like, it's a good game.
Because God forbid you like a fucking game.
Yes.
Because you're not a little snowflake who gets triggered that, oh my God, this game dares to admit that transsexual people are real and they exist. But keep it out of my fantasy. Along with your multicultural dwarves and elves. Oh, help me, mommy. They put a trans person in my game.
Yeah,
these so-and-so called men that can't handle it. It's so dumb. But yet there is something in that game that I don't know if it's true or not. So I'll wait until I see, but...
There is that one scene that I have not come across yet, and it's a terribly written scene. I don't think... anybody would go, okay, we can have a section in here if there is a trans character or a non-binary character. Right now, I have not encountered a character like that, but let's say there is. In there, I guess in the cutscene, somebody misgenders them, and it's a fine concept to deal with that. but it's stupidly written. But you're going to throw out an entire fucking game because of that one scene?
Exactly. It's like, it's so fucking. It's why I hate to do this, because Stephanie Sterling really rubs a lot of people the wrong way on purpose.
Yeah.
She did a video that literally is mocking it. It's called "Oh No, Dragon Age Went Bro," and it's all about how they made it all about dudes, and how she can't handle them forcing straight white males in her games, and why does there have to be so many cisgendered males in the games, and it's just forcing an agenda on her, and it's hilarious to listen to, because it's exactly how the people that make fun of modern gamers, they are the modern gamers. The modern gamers are a bunch of pissed off, angry, hard up, can't get a chick, don't touch grass weirdos who can't stand the idea of anything in a game that isn't what they see in the mirror.
I am very bothered by them. I'm very bothered.
And it's getting so bad that, like, I don't even want to play AAA games, because what's the point? The dialogue around them all is who the people that made it, who are the writers, what consultation group did they hire? It's like, it's almost like they're just ruining gaming.
Why do you think they have such traction? What do you, because I mean, gamers are no different than any other fandom, I don't think.
I think it's the same reason Trump has such traction, because being part of some gross, I'm angry and mad at the other type of a movement makes you feel like you have a sense of belonging, and it gives you an identity to tie yourself around.
Yeah,
and then
that's a
before
really
you know
good,
it,
it's a very good point. It's a very good point.
before you know it, it's the Emperor's New Clothes thing, only the opposite, where you are draped in Chud or MAGA, or even on the left, you're
covered. You're covered in the jism of the MAGA movement. It's disgusting.
Yep. It's just crazy. I literally just watched a thing on a guy who created an organization called Leaving MAGA, because he all of a sudden realized he was in a cult, and everybody there was kind of uncomfortable, but they were more uncomfortable with leaving, because they knew as soon as they left, all the people that love them would hate them for being a traitor to the cause. And he left, and he started a thing called Leaving MAGA, and it's all about just helping people. Hey man, if you don't agree with what the cult is saying, you can leave that one and come to this one, where we will just be accepting, and we're not going to force an agenda. And I really think that gaming is getting to a point where it needs that.
Well, let me show you. I know there's a delay, but the people watching it'll be live. But this is from Colt. I thought it was Fonzarelli, but it's Colt Eastwood put this up last night. Regardless of your take on, I mean, let's for the moment assume that what I'm about to show you on screen, and it's not even close, but what I'm about to show you on, let's just pretend it is the gayest, like there has never been a pride parade as gay as this game. Let's just pretend that's the case, okay? How can you consider yourself a fucking gamer and watch this combat and go, okay, maybe politically I'm not vibing with it, but I'm not going to review bomb and shit on something I haven't played, because how do you not want to play this? Just, it's a 40-second clip. Watch this combat.
Shit. More on top.
Not even supposed to be here. Dust people? I'll show you weak dust people.
Now,
So the Entom took over
I am
the
not suggesting it's the world's greatest combat. What do you mean, what is this? It's Dragon Age.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting it's the world's greatest combat, but to look at this and say that, and I also would say if you are looking for a traditional RPG, that would suck,
ain't it.
because that's not what you were sold. I get that as well.
I think that's the problem. I think the problem is you have people that cannot get over the fact that Dragon Age Origins was Dragon Age Origins, and no other Dragon Age has been really at all like it. Dragon Age 2 went full action combat. Inquisition was full action combat, and this just drops a lot of the little clinging ons of RPG-ness that people, I guess, really, really liked. Like, you can't swap to your companions in this
No,
game.
you
I
can
know
give
that.
them commands, so you can you can basically say, okay, I want to combo with my mage, or I want to combo with my warrior. But no, not like Inquisition, where you can actually control them and pause. You actually can pause time, but it's not in the same way.
Yeah, I don't think this looks great, but I don't think this looks shit either. I
No.
think it looks like serviceable combat.
I think it looks. Yeah, I think the combat's awesome. But even still, though, that's fine. The fact that it's even serviceable, it's not shit. It's not
No,
this
I
piece
don't
of
think
crap.
it's shit.
And
Nope.
I just I can't deal with it, man. What is your advice? Like, because I don't want to get off social media, because social media, like 40% of the time, offers an amazing connection to the world.
Okay, this is advice I do not take myself, so do as I say, not as I do. Literally, my advice to you would be, do not engage with the people who come at you for liking a thing that you dare to like. But at the same time, don't go out of your way to rub shit in their face, which I don't really think you do, but they think you do. Because I see your tweets, and your tweet will be something like, hey, look at this is great. You know, this is like one of the best action games this year. And immediately you're attacked for saying something you didn't say. How can you say this is the best action of the year? What about this game? What about that game? And it's like, that's not what he said. But because they hate this game so fucking bad that they just want to attack you for not saying this game completely sucks ass and I hate it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I
So
want to
just,
save
like, literally-
them. Maybe I want to save them. How do we save Grums? How do we reach into the world
I literally
and pull his soul back to reality?
I think I actually tweeted this at Gene Park. Someone, I don't know whether it's you, Colin, Gene, someone else, needs to literally have people that they lean chud and other people that lean super leftist, and just talk about what is good writing in a video game, and how do you have inclusivity and diversity that doesn't feel like you're virtue signaling or ramming it down someone's throat to the point to where you alienate, and not just hardcore chuds, but you alienate people who are in the middle and are like, you know what, I don't really care. Live your life, be who you are. It's up to you, not me. I'm not the government. I don't want to be in your bedroom. But at the same time, I want to play a video game and not be preached at. You know what I mean?
But that's just bad writing, right? I mean, the
But
problem
that's the
is
thing. They
the
always
problem
say,
is they
"We don't-"
struggle with the difference between bad writing and the fact that anything that you create is going to be a reflection of what the creators feel about the world, whether it's
Exactly.
conscious on the part of the creators or not. So the idea that just let me just have my entertainment, that doesn't exist.
No, and it
unless
never
you're
really
watching.
did.
Yeah, it's never existed.
What they think is that gaming used to be a bunch of 20 to 30 something white dudes making games. And what they don't realize is, yes, that was sort of true. But even in the 90s, when you and me were in the industry, there were women, there were minorities, there were gay people.
And there were, let's put it this way, you probably had more gay, trans, non-binary shit, because a lot of those people were closeted and they coded the shit out of it because they couldn't come out and actually say it.
There was a trans person that worked at Interplay. You know, when I started there, it was a guy. And then the president of the company said, hey, this is the deal. This person is transitioning to a woman. They are going to present as a woman for 1 year. If you have a problem with it, let me know, and I'll help you find another job.
And yes, and wouldn't you? And we had a trans lady working at Bartlett Jones. But wouldn't you think gamers of all people who understand the value of respecking would go? They'd be the biggest trans supporters in the world. How many times?
Maybe not for the respecking thing, but I think it's weird that gamers used to be.
Well, no, I mean, how many times have you gone in Elden Ring to that lady with the weird baby who's like, oh, you're the tear lady, whatever the fuck her name is, and it's like, I don't like who I am. I don't feel like somebody that has vitality at 28. I'd like to
I get
change.
what you're saying.
Why can't? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ,
I get
fucking
what you're saying.
morons. Probably because they don't actually play any games.
Someone said a thing and it bothered me, but the more I think about it, it kind of makes sense. I don't remember who it was. It might have even been Gene Park. It was something about how role-playing games, comics, superheroes, video games, that used to be where the nerds and the less
Yeah,
popular kids went, because those less popular kids weren't playing football. They weren't running track. They
that's
weren't doing
right.
baseball, basketball. So we had gaming and comics and D&D. And now all of the jocks, the bros are in that
I don't think
sphere,
the
and
jocks
they're
and
trying to
bros,
take
though,
it
trust
over.
me, jocks and bros are not uncensored Maverick or Naw Dog in
Well,
the
no, I
chat.
like perfect example. I played football and ran track, so it's and I did baseball before high school, so I was a jock. I just wasn't a meathead. You know what I mean? I wasn't the guy at school that wore his Letterman jacket and bullied kids that wore glasses. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was just a person who enjoyed physical activities as much as I enjoyed mental ones. So I played D&D, played video games, and also played football and ran track. But
Yeah, I don't know.
I understand a lot of people weren't like that, but I don't understand. Just
I think they're
I've
sad. They
never
have
looked
to
at a
be
black
sad.
person
I
in a
mean,
video game and gotten mad.
take Grums for a minute. I'm going to bitch about this
Ugh.
guy. Okay, now I say this is a short guy. I'm an overweight guy. I've said this many times. On my best days, I'm a maybe average looking, maybe depending on if it's a best day, slightly above average. Probably not. I'm not look shaming the guy. But how can you look like Grums looks and act like you've got a dog in the fight? Nobody's trying to fuck you, Grums. It wouldn't matter if all games were Sydney Sweeney motion captured for every woman. Nobody's fucking you. Nobody wants to fuck you. You don't get a seat at that table. You have no experience with any of this other than being a little fucking bitch sitting in his garage sort of jerking off to fucking Sydney Sweeney movies or some such bullshit. I don't understand it.
I literally, I was joking sort of that
If
he's
you're a
psyop.
good-looking dude, maybe you get something to say about it because you get lots of women. But you don't get to debate lots of women, or you don't get to talk about the debate when nobody's fucking you.
You remember when you interviewed him before he
he's
became who he
fine.
is?
He's
No, but
fine.
remember how he said that his board of directors were bought and paid by China?
Yeah.
And they were trying to bribe him, and China was trying to give him like $20 million.
Yeah, I remember.
And all this crap. And now you would think a guy from Tai fucking Wan, who supposedly had his company taken out from under him by Chinese influence, would hate China, right? You know who he stands up for all the time? China. The Chinese devs. He championed Black Myth Wukong. He posted a bunch of shit about how Sweet Baby Inc. was trying to bribe Shift Up and Black Myth Wukong's devs. And I'm like, dude, somebody got to him and it's like, you need to be a propaganda piece to like cause dissent on socials or something.
I know that's so conspiracy feeling, but it kind of seems
But
like
how
that.
would he go from saying China stole his company by getting to his board of directors and firing him to now championing them on socials? And he always says stuff about diversity, and it's like, I hate to break it to you, dude. I worked at Blizzard, and when I worked there was like 3 women and maybe 2 guys that weren't white. The fact that he worked at Blizzard, he was the DEI hire.
Yeah,
he probably got the job because of who he was and what he looked like.
Yeah,
Get what I'm
maybe.
saying?
I hear you. I don't know
So
if that's
for
true,
him
but
to
I
be
hear you.
so against that shit when he may have indirectly benefited from it is kind of amazing. And I just don't get it, because when they complain about DEI,
Yeah, I'm getting
or
bored.
inclusion in games-
Kevin Sal says Jaffe's getting bored. I am getting bored.
all right,
All
then
right,
we
buddy.
will stop
Good to see you, man.
later.
All right. I like when people just realize I'm not being rude. I'm just like, I'm getting bored now. But I hear them and I agree with a lot of that. You know, let me say something to you seriously. If you came here for a guide, I don't even know anymore what this show is. Right? I don't know. You're not here for news. You don't need me for news. But if you came here for news, though, today's not the day, and I apologize. I really do, because you deserve better than that. But I'm mad. I'm genuinely, this is my therapy. I'm genuinely frustrated. I'm just tired of it, man. And I don't know what to do about it. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to get it out of my life. I think here's what it is. Here's what I'd say. I'm genuinely enjoying Dragon Age. It was not on my radar. it was not something I, gave a shit about. I enjoyed Inquisition. And I just took to the internet to say, hey, this is really good. I'm enjoying this. And I think maybe what's pissed me off is just the fact that you can't even celebrate something. I think that's what it is. You can't even cockadoodie fucking celebrate something you like. Not just with somebody disagreeing with you and saying, oh, that's weird, you like that. I found this to be a problem, blah, blah, blah. But literally coming after you and acting like you're simply wrong for liking something that they don't necessarily like. Lizard King has joined the Diet Soda Soldiers. He gets a song because I'm in that kind of mood. Lizard King, thank you, buddy, for your support and showing up here at the show. It's very kind, very generous, very courteous. Here's your song. Lizard King doesn't have a wedding ring because he's cheating on his wife. But she found out and she will shout as she chops his dick with a knife. Poor Lizard King is bleeding out in the driveway as his children watch him fade away. That's all I got. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Lizard King, no. It's not that I'm D2D man, you missed the point. 2D man says, who cares? Like what you like. 7 billion people on the planet. You can't make everybody happy. I'm not trying to make everybody happy. I don't care that somebody else doesn't like it. That's not what bothers me. I don't expect everybody to like the same shit. I don't like the way people communicate that. That's what I don't like. Not because it hurts my feelings or it's mean, but because it's a reflection of just how fucked up we are as a fucking society. I mean, anybody in the chat right now, seriously, if you're not trolling about this and you're serious about this, I would love for you to call in. Because, I know there's troll. I get it. It's fun. I get it. But that's not what I'm talking about. I can tell when most of you guys are trolling. But in this case, though, I just don't understand. And I'd like to understand. Jaffe, would you play the Pokemon Pocket game? I tried. I downloaded it today because I heard everybody was raving about it. And I ended up, I guess they're having maintenance and they're having problems creating new accounts. So I'm going to try again tomorrow. But damn it, you receding bald-headed motherfucker. Receding bald-headed. What game did you have no interest in and you were blown away? Johnny asked. I don't know, Johnny, fuck you. How about that? That's your answer, you fuck. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't that interested in this, and now I really, really like Dragon Age. But I don't know. Cosmic Bandito says it's a mediocre game. You know what? Maybe it's that. Seriously, fellas, let's focus on this for a minute. Maybe it's that. When I don't know if it's just because I was raised by considerate parents, right? But to say Cosmic Bandito, I'm serious. This is the way you phrased it. It's a mediocre game with good graphics that is poorly written with ham-fisted gender ideology injected. All you need to do is say, my take was, or in my opinion, or I just felt it, like if you would have simply added a few words, I just felt it was a mediocre game with good graphics that's poorly written, with ham-fisted gender ideology injected. That would go down so much easier. I would go, oh, that's his opinion. It's the fact that you plant a flag and you state it like you've got the skinny on this. It just is. Cosmic Bandito has declared, I don't know if you guys saw the King's declaration, but he's declared it's a mediocre game. Well, not to me, it's not. Right? So I'm curious, why do you do that? I always, or at least I try, I'm sure I fail sometimes, but I always try to go out of my way to communicate uh, uh, in a way where I'm being clear. I don't agree with that accusation, Doug. People have said that. It says, over the years, you've communicated in a very strong way. People respond similarly. No. I will tell you when I think you're a fucking moron. Okay? I will tell you when something is just my opinion or I think something is fact. But I make it clear. And I will also tell you when I say something inflammatory, but it's clearly I'm being silly and over the top and hyperbolic. Because either on the stream there'll be a little bit of a chuckle or a laugh, or I'll put a smiley face or whatever. So, you may not like what I have to say, but more often than not, I say it pretty well. I know what I'm trying to communicate. Here's a great example. We literally have the creator of Veilguard 1 and 2 in the chat right now. Here's a guy who put a game out. I wouldn't want to put a game out today. People are such assholes. Let me ask you something, Chris. Were people dicks to you about Veilguard 2? I haven't gone back to it just because it's really hard for me, and I'm older now than I was when the first one came out. Shut up, Bukaki, you piece of shit. Don't you crawl back under the house, troll. Yeah, Zero says, not even kidding, social media has ruined critical thinking and discussion. I think you're right. All right, buddy, good to see you, Trey. Good to see you, man. Hope things are well for you guys. Yeah, Chris says, mayo better than ketchup, and if you disagree, you're an idiot, and I'm going to dox you and troll you. Like, what is wrong with these people? I hate them. Maybe there's a way to solve it, though. Maybe this is one of those times where people say, oh, there's a problem. Maybe there's a business here, right? I mean, seriously. Maybe I get that in the government, you would never want to be like, you have to take a test to vote. No, that's not happening. It's not happening. But social media, private companies, why not? Why not say like, hey, you can only come in here, but you got to be vetted. You got to be smart enough. You got to be kind enough. Blood Money says, Jaffe, I temporarily unsub from your channel because I've noticed a lot of hate growing towards your viewers' opinions. The opposite of what I said. That's fine. Yeah, I never want to push people away, but the only people I want to push away are the people who I can't serve. And if you feel that my frustration at these folks is something that you don't like being around or subsidizing, I respect that. Totally fine. Not a problem. How many gift subs for you to start Shadow of the Erd Tree? I'm not going to start it no matter how many gift subs until I finish the first one. So it's probably going to be 6 months or so. I think you do this to debate with people, says Blood, and not to validate your opinions. I don't understand what you're saying. If not, then I completely misunderstood. The point is just to talk games and share gaming news and passion and discussions and debates about it. I don't care if you want to debate. That's fine. I enjoy that. Tell me why I'm diving too deep into Silent Hill 2, and it's not very smart. It's not a well-written game. That's interesting. I want to hear about that. But don't tell me I'm simply wrong because I like something you don't like. I don't understand that. Do I have beef with Jeff Keighley? No, I like Jeff. I have a lot of respect for Jeff Keighley. Yeah, I'm going to try, Kevin. I'm going to try Slitterhead, absolutely. And I'm going to try Showa. Somebody introduced me to Showa last night, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. That looks cool. It's not out yet. There's not even a demo yet, but, But yeah, and it's probably the election has me on, not edge. I'm not worried about what's going to happen with the election. But, it's reaching a point here. I really hope tomorrow, whenever we find out who wins, that you know, it'd be nice if let's just say Kamala wins. It would be really nice if the people who voted for her, as I did, it would be nice if they don't shove it in the faces of the people who didn't. It would be nice if they were like, hey, let's now stop being so mad at each other. Let's try to get along a little bit better. Could we do that? Morton says, Jaffe, I get why you're fine with this game, but I really have to ask, are you not sick at being preached at? I mean, Jesus fuck, I don't want a sermon. I want a game. I don't disagree with you. It helps when they preach to the choir, and I agree with a lot of what they're saying. But what I would say to you, though, Bobby, is, that was fun for me to do, is that so far I am 10 to 11 hours in this game, and there has been no preaching. There is that scene coming up, I assume, that suggests that there will very much be that, you know, it's like, hey, now, terribly written. Terribly written. And sure, but that's not, it doesn't play at all like that yet. I'm 11 hours in and I haven't experienced anything like that. I haven't experienced the only kind of thing that you might, know that there is kind of wokeness going on, if there is, depending on how you define that really problematic term these days, because everyone defines it differently, is if you go out of your way to look for it and say, you know, hey, I want to make a character that I would be offended by. But I'm 11 hours in. I'm playing it. I really like it. I don't know what to tell you. If they vote to legalize weed in Florida, am I going to Florida? It's legal here. Why would I go to Florida? Yeah, okay, so Chris says he's 27 hours in, way ahead of me. Good Jaffe English, hard to do English. 27 hours in, and only wokey thing I saw is in character creation. So what? Right? Right? I mean, again, I don't even know if everybody gets that scene that everybody is sending around, where she's doing the push-ups. But that's one scene. Stoner Joe, I would love to. Gabbin and Games election special. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. I would love to. But the problem is, not the problem, but, well, there's a problem. The problem is that, first off, you can't really, you know, you get demonetized, and depending on the network you use, you get canceled a lot of times, like your account, because you're broadcasting stuff. But the other thing is, I'm making dinner tomorrow. You know, we're all watching it together here. So I'll probably be tweeting about it, but it's kind of a family thing. We all, you know, I'll probably get online afterwards, assuming there is an afterwards, if we even know anything. But it could be that we don't know shit. So I'll definitely be active on the socials and stuff, but I probably won't be doing a stream, but thank you for that. Kalai, there he is, our DM for our new game. We're doing D&D again this Saturday, I think. I'm looking forward to it. I love D&D. He says, I quit Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, and Instagram a couple of years ago. YouTube is fine as long as I keep my watch history off. I found that life is much better without the negativity. I'm with you. The only problem is that, you know, I need to be online. I need to know what's happening to talk about it, you know, on the shows. But there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. Somewhere between what I do and collide what you do. And thank you, buddy, for that support. You know, I appreciate it. The half dragon, half human character who is a biological female but buff as hell is trans. Okay. So there may be, I haven't gotten to that character yet. Great. Am I supposed to care? I mean, are you supposed to care? Does it bother you that there's a trans character in the game? Who gives a shit? Why is that a problem? It's a fucking dragon, by the way. I mean, what is it? I mean, seriously, ask yourself just how weird that is. It's the equivalent of like being like, you know, in the 60s and going, I don't have a problem with black people. I just don't want them eating in the same restaurant I do. Or I don't want to see a movie where there's a black person. Just don't shove it in my face. It's a trans person. What do you care? I mean, seriously, I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just confusing this situation here. It's like, so? I agree with you about that scene, though. The scene is terrible. The scene's dumb. Get your news from a more simplistic news site like Jamatsu. Well, you know what? I have, honestly, Ringo, I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about maybe what I should do is just only go to the computer gaming, CGV or whatever it's called, and Jamatsu and IGN and, all the sites that are just sites, and stay off of NeoGAF and stay off of Reset and stay off of Twitter for the gaming news. And I don't know, though, because then what's the show, right? I got to figure that out, right? Because I don't want to just talk news, but I do want to just talk games. So I need to figure out what that looks like, because this whole show has been about this shit, right? We've gotten an hour and a half of content about this bullshit. But I don't know how good it is. I don't know how enjoyable this content is. I'm just annoyed. I'm mad. I don't know. Hello, Movie Maniac. Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you, buddy. Truth is always more entertaining than bullshit. Just here's the news. You got to find that balance, baby. You got to find that balance. And I'm just in a bad mood because of it today. I think because I think, that's why I already said it. But it really is. It's just because, I'm used to, Grums being in his little dirty hovel hole, being an idiot. But when I share things with the community and I say, hey, I'm really enjoying this thing, I think this is really good, it really pisses me off when the response is, you're just simply categorically wrong for liking it, Jaffe. And here's why you're wrong. I'm like, really? Really? That's how you were raised? What's the matter with you? You need a hug, not from me, but you need a hug from somebody. Because it's really, you're sick. You're sick. It's a good game, man. It's a good fucking game. Real fucking shame people won't even give it a try. Don't you find the dialogue and overall writing to be safe, dumbed down, and sanitized? Yes. I don't think... I find the writing in Dragon Age Veilguard to be of two camps, right? The first camp is the preachy stuff, like the push-up scene is ridiculously, stupidly written. I think its heart is in the right place, and I appreciate the statement, but I don't think it's a well-communicated, well-written, created scene. But the other part of it, I think, has more to do with just the confusion over what it looked like we were getting, which was a serious adult experience and really does feel more like a young adult fantasy novel. And that's not bad. It's just not what I think a lot of people expected. So if you can be okay with it, and I can, because to me it feels like the CW superhero shows, right? Somebody on Twitter was saying it's like, nobody watched the Supergirl show or Arrow or The Flash and was like, this is so fucking deep and, my God, it's so layered. I could write a fucking thesis on this in college. But you knew what you were getting, and it was fun for what it was. That's, I think, the writing in Dragon Age that works. I just don't think people were expecting it. But I think the preachy stuff is problematic. Dragon Age, says Bukaki, has always been pretty Wheaton-esque. I don't know why people are acting like this is something new. Yeah, I don't have any knowledge of it, so I couldn't say. Thank you. I just farted. I appreciate that, buddy. And I loved Inquisition. I thought it was great, but it's very different. It's very, very different. John R., I don't agree. I think it's fine for woke elements to be injected into these games, but when it undermines the world building, it's a problem. Sure. And I think the issue is your mileage is going to vary, but, you know, all of this fantasy stuff has always been about something. None of maybe it's a lack of education, right? Maybe it's, and I don't mean for you, but I mean a lot of these people that complain, it's like none of this stuff has ever been made in a vacuum. Tolkien stuff was not in a vacuum. Stan Lee's stuff, George Lucas's stuff. It's always been about something. Sometimes it's been conscious on their part and sometimes it hasn't. But this idea that a lot of these people who complain have, that why can't it just be like it was, where it was just this? It's never been just this. It's never been that at all. Name me something that's not, you know, hell, I can't even say a little kid show. Name me something that's not about something. I'm waiting, and I don't mean that like you're just wrong. I'm saying I'd love to know what you're talking about. It may have been better written. Right. Darth Nugget says it just really comes down to poor writing. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Why don't we all kind of, you know, grab the pitchforks and go after just poor writing? But, you know, right. John says metaphor refantasio is political, but it's not on the nose. Right. That just means it's well written. Plumbers Don't Wear Ties was about nothing. I haven't played it, so I can't really speak to it. But the writing was better then, says 2D. Today's writing is like those 1980s drugs are bad after school specials. Yes, I definitely can see how that particular scene in Dragon Age fails on that part and fits that description 100%. Let's go after that. Why is the writing so goddamn bad? But I don't think game writing was ever great, you know. But and again, I go, look, if you're a really good, let me ask you this. I've said this before and people got mad at me. I gave a whole speech on this at DICE one year. But if you're a really good fucking writer, why in the world would you ply your trade in video games? Unless you really are just a visionary that's like, I know I can crack the nut for interactive writing. Not cutscenes, but how do I take metaphor and narrative and infuse it into pure play mechanics? Okay. Then I see why you would sacrifice the massive payday. But if you're a really that you would get in film and books and all that shit. But if you're a genuinely great writer that loves telling stories, why the fuck, unless you had to, would you work in this medium where you don't have the kind of control? Not that you have it in film, but at least you have it when you write a screenplay. Or you do have it if you're a showrunner. You certainly have it if you're a novelist. Why the fuck would you write in this business? Right? Yeah, let's go after the bad writing. Let's create that culture. But you know, come on, to act like this stuff's always been political, not because they want to preach. No, I was not credited in the Twisted Metal show. It said based on the Twisted Metal PlayStation game. That's as close as it got, which is fine. I mean, I don't own the rights to it. So anyway, I know. Listen, I promise you guys, the next live stream, which might be tomorrow, I want it to be tomorrow because I have stuff to talk about that's not just this. But I appreciate you guys letting me vent. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll give you guys a morning show tomorrow. I have today's show that was prepared. It's going to talk about Game of the Year and a bunch of stuff. And I apologize. I do leave my house. Part of it's a character. You think I literally, we went for a huge walk the other night. I had pumpkin spice latte for the very fucking first time. We're probably going to take a walk tonight, go get more pumpkin spice latte, walk to the bookstore. I get out of the house. I just don't, I'm an introvert. I'm not even an introvert. I'm happy here. I have everything I need. You don't understand, Nugget. I got 3 big monitors all around me. I got the world at my fingertips. I got streaming television. I got the internet. I got video games. But Mutimo, right, all things considered, I'm a homebody. I like being a homebody. There's no shame in it. I enjoy it. Sorry, home is better than the real world, but it is. PK says, seeing Jaffe out of the house is like seeing his teacher outside the house. That's right. That's right. You know what? The pumpkin spice latte was really fucking good, actually. I'd never had it before. I had another one, and I said, hey, can you guys put a little vanilla in there, a little extra squirt of vanilla? It was good. I get why people like it so much. Bukaki says, pumpkin spice, basic ass bitch. Fuck you, you son of a bitch. 50 plus with money and you don't need much anymore. Oh, you're talking about me or you? I hope we both got some money off what we've given the world, man. Veilguard's the shit, dude. I know it sounds like you were saying online that a lot of people didn't buy the new one. This is the climate's terrible, I imagine. But I really dug it. I enjoyed it. And I thought it was fascinating, by the way. If you don't know, I think it was good you did what you did. Let me try to express it, and you tell me if I'm expressing it correctly. But Veilguard the Viking, the second one, comes out, and it was really interesting because what happens is if you die enough times, every time you come back, he starts turning green, if I remember. And I'm trying to remember the mechanics. It was very unique and bold. And then I think you guys released a patch that said we're going to kind of change that or at least give people an option. I appreciated the option, but it's very interesting. Like, did that come from you? Did that come from the publisher? But what I played was really good. It's just really fucking hard. And I'm not a very good gamer. Which a lot of these indie guys like you love making the game super fucking hard. I wish there was a difficulty fucking mode. And I know that was sort of a difficulty mode, but I love the world of Veilguard. I love Rastan. I love Black Tiger. I like that shit. I want to see more of it. And I'm not good enough, man. I don't have the patience for it. Jot shows up and he says, fuck you, everybody. I'm here with my ducats and my penis and my monkey named Fred. And he's here to say, I want to be a diet soda soldier. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Everybody welcome Jot by giving him a picture and emoticon of my future wife. I would appreciate it. Welcome, Jot. Good to have you here, buddy. Chris says just trying to do something totally new, which is hard to do. No, I know. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. You guys go play Veilguard. Yeah, totally. You can totally see the Rastan inspiration all over it. It's wonderful. I have seen the new. Everybody's talking about it. I've been hearing nothing but the Showa American Story trailer. Yeah, I saw it on Steam. It's not out yet. There's no demo yet. But it's on my radar now. I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely. All right. Well, listen, here's the deal. Tomorrow I'll show up with a more proper Gabbing Games before the once the election starts. Once we get about noon here in California, I'm baking ziti tomorrow, and all I'm doing is sitting with the family in front of the TV and obsessively watching the results come in. I'm watching Kornacki at the big board. I'm going to be tweeting or whatever. But thank you for putting up with me today, fellas. I appreciate it. Bulbo, I'll get you I know you really want that fortune cookie. It's behind the green screen. I'll get you a fortune cookie tomorrow. I may even play a little more Dragon Age tonight over on the Discord or on YouTube. I'm not sure where I'll play it. Because I'm really digging it. It's a really good to see you, Chris, man. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Might be super drunk depending on how tomorrow goes. There you go. But yeah, I'm really digging it. So I'll probably play some of that or some Call of Duty tonight. But in the meantime, though, thank you guys for talking me down from the ledge. Thank you for hanging out. New members like Good Sir Jot, as well as, was it Lizard King? We had ourselves Lizard King show up. And vote, don't vote. I don't give a fuck if you vote. I mean, if you're going to vote for Kamala, go vote if you're in a swing state. But I don't give a, do what you got. I don't tell you to live your fucking stupid life. But that said, though, let's hope tomorrow is a good day for kindness and intelligence and just people who want to have a good life for them and their families, whoever they are. Let's hope so. All right, fellas, be well, be safe. Thanks for hanging out with me. Mods, thank you guys very much. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, guys.